Hey guys, welcome to Sippin Spillin with Syd Frankie today. We are on our way to do our last minute grocery shopping for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a haircut too.
I haven't gotten my hair cut since we lived at the old house, so
yeah,
it's not happy.
It needs a trimmage.
Yeah.
It needs a bit of a trim, don't you know? So yeah, so we're heading into town for that. Mike wanted us to pick up some beef bones so that he can make basically a stock to make au jus for the prime rib that we're making for Christmas afternoon lunch, I guess.
It's very red.
What, my lips?
Your lips, yeah.
I knew you were gonna make a comment. I want, like, once a year I wear red lipstick, like randomly.
It's pretty.
And then
always
she
takes
loses her mind.
It's pretty. It just always takes me by surprise because she never wears.
I don't usually wear red lipstick because it's very whatever. But I feel like it's Christmassy, and so I put on some red lips. I'm channeling my inner Dolly Parton, and I'm wearing
your inner Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Anywho, we had a big day yesterday. So today's Tuesday, right? I'm not losing my mind.
I don't know.
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
You asking me what day?
Oh, the moves.
Yeah. Bunch of moves.
Our neighbor just moved his cows to the closer pasture. Anywho, yesterday our video for Sippin and Spillin didn't post on Monday like it was supposed to because we had some problems. And Mike needs a new computer. That's it's totally connected to the fact that it didn't post yesterday, but it's a whole thing. So that's got to happen here pretty soon. But Mike did get up real early and go out and get our first deer. So that was exciting. Frankie decided she had her alarm set. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
So this was yesterday. My alarm was set for 5:10. He texted me at 10 something the night before saying we need to be out the door at 6:15. I didn't see this. My phone was on sleep and I was already in bed. I'd gone to bed early the other night. I was really tired. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I was like, nope, screw this. So my alarm went off at 5:10 the next morning because that's what I had it set for, because I didn't see that text for 6:15, or else I probably would have set it for like 5:20, 5:30. Dad has his set for 5:30 because of that. When mine went off, he obviously didn't hear it. He was still asleep. His has not gone off yet. And I thought I snoozed mine. In fact, I did not snooze it. I had turned it off in that sleepy state.
And then he didn't come get her.
And he didn't go wake me up because he thought, oh, she just doesn't want to go hunting. Well, I did. She just hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button, yeah. And he wasn't.
And they had an agreement that if she didn't go on the next hunt, that he was going to get the first, because he had promised her she could get the first deer, but then.
And I said it was okay,
right.
Like if one day if I was at a friend's house or something or whatever, or if I needed to sleep in, or if I was going to be somewhere, whatever. If he wanted to go hunting, it was okay if he got the first deer. I didn't care that much, you know.
At this point, it was just like, let's get some meat into the freezer.
And he would have passed on this little 5-point if it wasn't for the fact that the day before he had passed on a doe and he had really regretted it because he was waiting for a big buck behind her. He didn't come. But out of this little 5-point, we did get some glands. So what we're going to do is put those kind of in between our deer stand, wherever we decide to hunt. Basically, wherever we think we're going to see deer, for instance, with the deer plot, in between our stand and the deer plot. And this will attract bigger bucks. Like, hey, who's got the ladies? Come on. And they're going to come on over, and I have a decent chance.
You don't just play like some Barry White and light some vanilla scented candles.
And I have a decent chance of getting a bigger buck than he did.
Well, there you go.
Because we caught a bigger buck.
We just saw it on the trail cam. We were just looking at trail cam footage. Mike had just pulled the card, so right before we left, we went and looked at the trail cam footage, and there was a nice. I didn't count the points, so I don't know, but it looked like decent rack
7 or 8, maybe.
So, and it's funny because he's got this one trail cam that he put down by the culvert, which is like the divide between the small pasture and the larger pasture, on the main pasture, I should say. And he's caught like bunko down there. He's caught deer. He's caught the cow,
Yeah.
the steer that's been coming onto our land. So that's actually going to be Friday's video. If you watched on Sunday's video, the girls went out into the pasture to go see where this steer was coming from, because they had gone we had seen it out in the pasture. First we saw cow patties, and then we were like,
cow patties.
Well, there's a cow out here somewhere. We don't know. And then I saw it one day over by the culvert, but I thought it was like somebody's horse because of the angle that I saw it at and the rear end I saw. I was like, that's a short horse, but like it looks almost like a horse, and it was moving kind of weird. Anyway, and then I was like, maybe it was a buck, but I couldn't tell because it was way too far away, and anyway, and I never did see it. I drove out there and couldn't find it. It had already disappeared. Anywho, they had walked the whole property line to see where it was coming through, and the girls, when they went out there, they saw where it was coming through. It was going down into the gorge, into our creek, and then all the way down to their property, which is like out more towards the highway. So they went out and went to repair that fence to keep it from coming back over, which it doesn't look like it worked, because that footage that was that before or after you guys fixed it, that he saw it on the trail cam again? I don't know. I'll have to see what the dates were. I think it might have been like the day before he fixed the fence, but I'll have to
or
look.
The day of.
Maybe, yeah. But anywho, so now it's in theory out there, so that'll be Friday's video of them, and I'll insert some trail cam footage into that video of the steer out there living its best life, mowing down Mike's deer plots, just living its best life over there. So, but hopefully we'll get that, it went back to its area, and hopefully it'll stay over there and not try to mess with the fence anymore, but we'll see, I suppose. But yeah, man, we're counting down the days to Christmas now, aren't we?
And Christmas Day is going to be really busy.
Christmas Day that's going to be the busiest Christmas Day I think we've had in a minute. We just have lots going on Christmas Day, and
so we're probably going to do our presents for like each other on Christmas Eve, because how busy Christmas Day is. Yeah,
Christmas Day is actually going to be really busy. So I'm like, I don't even know when we'd have time to do it. So I think we're going to do it Christmas Eve.
We'll hang out, watch some movies, and open gifts.
Yeah, we've got church at like 6, but we should be home by 7:15 at the latest from that, and then we'll do like an easy dinner that night or something, and then
we'll eat comfort food.
Yeah, I'll make something. I'll make something easy and yummy. Maybe I'll make a chicken soup or something.
Ooh, yeah.
And then we'll just kind of hang out and do our gifts and watch like cheesy Christmas movies or something. We do love to do that. We love to do that the day after Christmas too. We usually just kind of hunker down. Mike's usually off that day from work, even if it's a work day. And then we just kind of literally, like, we eat leftovers and we watch one bad Christmas movie after another.
Yeah.
In like
even if we've already watched it doesn't matter. We're just watching them.
Yeah, but there's so many like good bad ones that are out now that I think we don't have to
really, because last year there was a lot of bad ones that weren't like good bad. They were just bad.
I think there's a few, because we haven't watched any the last like 2 weeks. We haven't watched any Christmas movies because we've all been busy and we haven't really watched TV together. So,
no, you and Dad were watching 1923 or whatever.
We did watch that last night. Yeah, we did watch that first episode of 1923. And we did watch. We're finally up to date on Yellowstone. We watched
you
that
guys were watching Yellowstone for a while too.
Yeah,
and then me and Dad were watching Meat Eater last night. Yeah. After you guys were done watching your show.
Yeah, then I went to bed and they stayed up and watched Meat Eater, I guess. But yeah. They spent the morning yesterday. It was kind of funny because one of our friends who lives in Nashville had called me yesterday, and he's a recording artist, and years ago I had choreographed a line dance for him for one of his music videos, and he called me and he's like, hey, I've got another one that I've got this vision for the music video, and I'd really love it if you could choreograph another line dance for me. And I'm like, yeah, sure, what do you need it by? He doesn't need it till March. I got plenty of time. So I was like, yeah, easy peasy. So anyway, so I was chatting on the phone with him, and right before I called him back to have that conversation, I had gone into the laundry room because I was cleaning the house, and I looked out the laundry room window and I could see Mike behind the hay bale across the way, and I noticed movement down by the culvert, and it was this little buck, and none of us heard the gunshot.
Oh,
Frankie
no.
didn't hear it.
And
I
was
didn't hear
in
it.
that room with like nothing
The
on. I was
dogs
about to
didn't
get
hear
up.
it. Normally, the dogs, if you fire a gun that close to the house, I mean, it wasn't super, super close, but he was close enough.
He was close enough.
They would have heard it.
It wasn't
they would
like,
lose their mind.
He wasn't even where we were normally shooting. He wasn't where we were normally shooting, and then we would shoot to that 100 yards box. He wasn't even at that 100 yards box.
Yeah, he was close to it, though.
He was a little bit further than what we would normally shoot at. Maybe 20 yards further than what we normally shoot at.
Yeah, it was close enough that
to the house that we would normally be able to hear it.
Yeah, it was close enough to the house that you'd be able to hear it. And the dogs didn't hear it. Usually they hear one gunshot and they start hyperventilating and having a meltdown, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So none of us heard it, but I'm watching the deer run, and then I see it stop and roll on the ground, and I thought, oh, Mike's just watching it, because I just saw him kind of moving his gun. Never heard the shot. I'm standing not that far from him inside the house. I should have heard it. Anyway, it was just kind of funny. So yeah. I literally watched him take this deer, just happened to look out the window at the right time and see it go down.
Yeah.
And then my friend called me back, and I was like, hey, I think Mike just got a deer. I think I just watched him get it.
And like, what's funny is we can hear gunshots on like from acres and acres away in other properties, but for some reason nobody heard this gunshot.
Yeah, Mike's like, I didn't hear it either. And I was like, did you mind meld with it and you just caused the deer's heart to explode? I don't know what happened, but anyway, it was perfect shot. It literally took like
the casing of the bullet.
He got it right through the lung, right through the heart. Just
oh yeah, the heart was completely destroyed.
Yeah,
we have pictures of it, just like
So it was good stuff. So that was kind of cool that he got the first deer. He was very happy about it. It's nice. We're gonna have some meat in the freezer. In fact, one of the things I'm getting at the grocery store is a nice fatty pork shoulder so that I can mix it to make some sausage. And because I am the kind of resident sausage maker when it comes to
the resident sausage
to our house. And it's funny because actually I had to order some butcher paper because he's like, oh, I didn't think about this part, like, and because most people out here don't process their own. And Mike's like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay somebody to go process my deer. I'm gonna do it myself. So,
and that's what we did.
And that's what they did yesterday. Frankie helped her dad and learned how to. I mean, she's helped break down animals before, and a deer is not that much different than a lot of the animals that we've broken down before, but obviously a little different.
But I was also like, when we were really doing pigs, I was kind of like, I was younger. I don't really remember. I didn't really retain much of that information. So I didn't do much. I was kind of the runner, and I was kind of observing of how he was doing it, because there's some parts that I will not be able to do. Like, when I get my deer, I'm still going to be the one pulling the four-wheeler so that we can lift the deer up into the tree, and Dad's going to be the one.
Well, yeah, and
the deer goes up, because I'm not going to do that part.
It was funny, too, because she was like, how are we going to lift this deer up to hang it? And he's like, with the tractor. And she looked at him, because we left our tractor, our buddy needed to borrow it, and we left it at our buddy's house. So it wasn't at the house to be able to use it.
Yeah, because he was like, well, normally at this point I'd have a table or a tractor bucket. But I was like, we have a tractor bucket, we just don't have a tractor for it.
Yeah.
And so then we put a pallet on top of a wheelbarrow, hosed off the pallet, and we were using that as a table. And we were just figuring it out as we went. I mean, for when we hung the deer up from the head, we were hanging it on that swing set.
Yep.
And it was really sketchy. I almost took the whole thing with me on the four-wheeler.
Hey, it happens. You got to do what you got to do, And a little redneck ingenuity and kind of be creative about it to make it work. But that's okay. You had to do what you got to do. But that's exciting. We got our first deer. We've got some meat to put in the freezer this week. That was exciting. We are expecting record culls this week. So that's also, I guess, exciting. But anywho, we've got to get in there and get our groceries and head to our next stop. But we appreciate you guys. We hope you're having a very, very happy holiday this week and a very, very Merry Christmas. And we will see you tomorrow.